Welcome back, everyone. Tesseract here, and wow. So Flowise V3 just came out, and to be honest, I am not even sure exactly which words to use to describe just how excited I am about this release. So in this tutorial, we're gonna dive deep into Flowise AgentFlow V2, which represents a major leap forward in visual agentic orchestration. So if you're new to Flowise or to AgentFlow V2, this update introduces a pretty fresh take on node-based workflow development, where we can now truly create robust human-in-the-loop AI systems that have clear, auditable logic and a whole bunch of branching functionality. So today, let's go through and look at how to build a simple fundamental agent sequence, from initializing your flow, then provisioning your agent with tools, and then setting up human review processes and smart branching for feedback, all within one chat message exchange. So I would say this is all essential knowledge for anyone that is building production-grade AI automations or compliance-sensitive workflows. So things where it really matters in terms of accuracy and just how well the agentic flow delivers. All right, so let's start with a quick look at the complete flow that we're going to build, as shown on the screen now. We'll begin with the start node, and here we name it Initialize Agentic Sequence. This will be our entry point, and in chat mode, it's designed to receive user queries and kick off the flow. So just like when we send in a standard text input message in Flowise now. Next, we will connect to our agent node, and we'll label this Run Main Agent Task Process and User Query. So a bit verbose, but just gets the point across, and since we're learning here. So this will be the heart of our flow, and basically an AI agent that's provisioned with a suite of tools, everything from web research, API connectors, custom functions, and whatever utility stuff we need. Tool selection here is modular. You attach only what you need for the agent's tasks, and then the agent output is then routed to the human input node. So in this example, we'll label that Qualify Agentic Result and prepare for feedback. And this is where a human operator now has the ability to review the AI's response and ensure that the quality and compliance is there before that execution on the pipe completes. It's a big shift where in a single chat flow and tool agent, we are only able to send in that input, and that's what comes back from that one entity. So in agent flow, you can still have that same effect, but it's treated, everything is branched out and segmented into much more granular structure. When the human approves, we're able to go straight to what's called a direct reply node. And in our case, it'll be labeled respond to user and runtime event, and then sending that final response back to the user or system. So if rejected, the flow will continue then to an LLM node. So here, the AI summarizes the reason for the rejection, and that allows us to then have a clear audit trail that provides us pretty easy ways to have actionable feedback. So then that summary is sent to another direct reply node for transparent communication and then closing the loop. So two potential outcomes can complete that chat message, whereas before only one potential outcome could ever come from to an input. The structure here will be what's just a very foundational setup for any kind of kickoff for a more, maybe if we start with 3 agents or 1 or 2 agents, then probably 6 to 8 agents will be common in systems that use this. So for any robust agentic automation, and we always need to be balancing out our efficiency and human oversight and just standard kind of fast LLM work. So we'll take a look at some of those things. In the next segment, we're going to step through each node in detail, starting with how to configure with the start node, and then provisioning our agent with the right tools for the job. We'll also dive into best practices for tool selection and modular agent design. So hopefully that you can get the most power and flexibility out of AgentFlow V2. All right, let's build. So start with the start node, set it to chat input. We can rename it. Let's say initialize agentic sequence. Next node, let's work with the agent node. And before that, we're going to save up this flow if you haven't done so already. Open up the node menu, grab the agent node, and slap it on the canvas. Inside the agent node, we have our familiar experience, just reformatted and displayed differently. So now we do everything inside of this stack. So I'll set up the model as GPT 4.1 at temperature 0.5. And the only other settings we'll touch is allow image uploads, and we'll set auto resolution and reasoning effort to high. Then let's add our system developer identity prompt. This you will find in the gist and with the rest of the tutorial materials, so you can review in more detail after or later. Next, I will go ahead and provision all the tools that are needed for the agent. And a quick tip and thing to keep in mind here is that you only want to be provisioning tools that actually are going to be used. I would say, yeah, here it's all the more important. If you know you're going to need about 16 to 20 tools, boom, just have that set up. And the new builder experience here is streamlined, optimized for speed and efficiency, and I really like it. So the tool kit that I'm using is heavy on web research tools. Then we'll set up some additional MCP server functionality, this new web scraper tool that has just recently been introduced to Flowise, and some stuff like Wolfram Alpha. Then we also have a couple of custom tools. This task runner is meant to do some keyword and tags and SEO based work, so we'll attach those. All right, excellent. So then we're going to do a couple of knowledge stores, one direct from Flowise, which acts as a short-term memory between different agents. And then an additional vector store done in Upstash. Set our OpenAI embeddings, give it a name, and describe it. Excellent. Next node, human input. One of the newest nodes, or just one of the new nodes in the setup, it is something that allows us to now dictate the flow of the response. So before agent responded and it went straight to us. Now we can interrupt that pattern. So we'll add a human input node, and then I'll connect it to the direct reply node, and also set up an LLM node. So quickly rename our first agent, and that will say run main agent task and process the initial user query. Then now we have this human input agentic setup. So that will output the reject path to an LLM, and that LLM will summarize the reason for the rejection. So we'll configure the settings here. Here I'll dynamically reference one of the variables. So prepare summary of and what it is, and we're dropping that in. Perfect. And then we'll relabel this reply as respond to user and runtime event. And we will say all set, and grab our agent flow variable pointer. All right. And then the other direct reply will be a respond to user on rejection path. And we will summarize the human in the loop LLM results and display that to the user. So when we fire in the process flow, just like in Agent Canvas, we saw what happens inside the flow be displayed. That also what's happening now as well. But as you could see, once this response comes back, we now actually have buttons or actions in the API. And once again, let's trigger it with a different request. We see that our initial agent is processing the query. Once the agent finishes, we start streaming the response from it. You can take a look at some of the tools and results. The UI overall looks a lot better. So again, we're able to now provide feedback and qualify the decision. If the human in the loop event is yes, then we can type feedback and have that approval process be done. And if we reject and say no and say this is our feedback why it's a bad response, maybe like you didn't use the right tools or something, it can be anything. And now we have this ability to traverse through a single runtime in a couple of interrupted events and build this into pretty sophisticated sequences, I imagine, as everyone of us has here, we're going to be doing some pretty wild things with this. So hopefully you got something out of this basic setup. Watch the other 2 videos where we tackle some more intermediate and advanced topics, all within the AgentFlow V2. But for the most part, please do explore this new architecture because it's going to be big. If you found this tutorial helpful, just check out the links below for more deep dives into Flowise and N8N and advanced agent orchestration, okay? So try building your own agentic flows and share your results or questions right in the comments. I'd love to see what you create, all right? So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.